Okay, so I'm just going to jump straight in. This is going to be the first step in this coconut chicken curry kind of recipe. So what I've got here is about 2 large chicken breasts that have just been diced up quite chunkily, because you don't want them to kind of dissipate and just disappear into the sauce and be nothing. Or you can use 4 chicken thighs, depending on what your kind of dietary needs are. I just had chicken breasts, so I'm going to use that, but thighs is a better flavour. And then here is the spices that we're going to marinate them in. So this is just like a shop bought curry powder, which will do fine. We just need to make some additions to it, which is half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of cayenne, about 4 star anise, and about 4 bay leaves. And you probably just need a bit of oil just to help coat the chicken in this, and just a nice pinch of salt. And then we'll sit there and let it marinate for about 3 or 4 hours at least. If you can make it the day before, even better, because you'll get a better flavour. But this is the first step in the process. So, as you can see, the chicken's now mixed. Obviously, I'm filming this with one hand and recording it with, I'm got one hand in the video and I'm recording it with the other hand via a phone, so I can't really, show you me mixing the chicken, but it's well mixed. The star anise and the bay leaves are kind of inside mixed inside the chicken. If it's just sat on top, I'd push it in just so it gets, a bit more flavour in there. I've also used a little bit of oil, a nice pinch of salt, and about half a teaspoon of cracked black pepper. I have a pepper mill, so I like to crack it fresh because I think it's better flavour. But if you only have ground, that's fine too. If you just have like powderized black pepper, just don't use as much because it's very strong. So I'm just gonna wrap this and keep it covered and stick it in the fridge, and then in a couple of hours I'll start making the curry. Okay, so now the chicken's marinated and I've prepped all the vegetables. Now this stuff we're just gonna ignore for a minute. These are like your base for your curry sauce. So the turmeric we can put with the chicken because it'll stain your mixing bowl yellow potentially, depending on if it's plastic or metal or whatever, so I'll just add that in later. I've got some minced garlic, minced shallots. There's about, well, I'd say 3 large cloves of garlic is what I'm going to put in the recipe, but this is about 6 because they were absolutely fucking tiny. 2 medium-sized shallots, just minced down. 1 stick of lemongrass, and about 3 or 4 lime leaves. Now these 2, I buy from Chinese supermarkets in big bags and then just freeze them. I'd not advise not buying these things from Tesco because they're really, really expensive and the quality of them tends to be a bit kind of rubbish. But if you buy them from a Chinese supermarket, you buy a big bag of them for £1 and then chuck them in your freezer and just take them out as and when you need them. Same with these. If you buy these in Chinese supermarkets, they're always in the freezer or they're dry. Fun fact, these actually have to be imported into the country frozen or dry. They're not allowed to be imported fresh because the smell is so strong that it puts sniffer dogs off and they were hidden and used for many years to actually hide drugs. Fun fact. All this stuff is very much like choose your own journey. I just got some carrots, some onion, some broccoli, some peppers, some green beans that were kind of on the way out that I've just trimmed and cut in half. That I'm going to use to bulk it out on top of the chicken just to give it a lot more vegetables. But all this is very much choose your own journey, where this stuff is like your base. So these are the kind of things you kind of really need. If you're not used to shallots, they're basically part of the onion family. They're smaller. They tend to be a bit sweeter and they cook a bit faster. And they're used quite predominantly in Southeast Asia, along with things like lemongrass, lime leaves, lots of garlic, stuff like that. Cool. Okay, so all I've done here is just warmed a nice cast iron. This is my cast iron pot, but any kind of deep side pan will do, or even just like a big saute pan, big frying pan with sloping sides will be fine. Added about a tablespoon of oil, got it to about a medium heat, and now I'm just going to really gently sweat down my shallots, my garlic, my lime leaves, my lemongrass, and then when they start to kind of now obviously I'm just add them to the pan for a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and they'll be nice and soft, and we'll add the chicken, and then we'll start frying the chicken off. Cool, so it's been about 2 minutes, and now the shallots and the garlic and everything just kind of sweated down and started to cook gently, just starting to colour up very lightly. Don't want to kind of let it go any further than this. So next we're going to add the chicken, which is going to be quite not very elegant with one hand, but yeah, that's the job done. And give this about 4 or 5 minutes just to fry off. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit now, so it's on basically a full flame, and I'm just going to let it cook and get some colour on it. Just make sure you spread it out nice and evenly across the pan as much as you can do, depending on obviously the size of your pot, so that it's got like a nice, every piece of chicken's kind of got surface area on the bottom of the pan. Cool. Something I need to mention as well is make sure you get all the spiced oil and everything out of your mixing bowl. I have one of these like rubber maristas, which are really, really good. Pick them up for about a tenner, and they generally last a couple of years, as long as you don't burn them or anything. Because obviously all the spices and everything that's going to sit at the bottom of the bowl is going to be quite a lot of the flavour of our coconut broth kind of curry. So it's a good idea to get all them out, and obviously just keep moving the chicken regularly. You want to kind of start to get a bit of sealing in colour on them. Yeah, so just keep it moving around, but also don't move it around too much. Kind of a stupid thing to say, but it's just kind of how it is. Yeah, I'm back in about a minute. So it's been about 2 minutes, and the chicken's just frying off nicely. Obviously, I didn't mention this a minute ago, but it's worth noting that just be careful not to like kind of burn the shallots and the garlic minced into it, because it will ruin the sauce a little bit. So just make sure you keep, when you're getting underneath the pan, you turn the chicken over, that you really get into the bottom of the pan and move the shallots around as well, and the garlic around and stuff, just to stop that from burning. So now we're going to add our coconut milk. I actually quite like this brand because it doesn't set like a coconut cream on top. It's probably got stabilizers in it, but it's just more convenient to use, to be honest. We've added the coconut milk, and I've also got some homemade kind of chicken stock here that I'll probably fortify a little bit with some like bouillon powder. And obviously, if you don't have, I appreciate that not everyone's going to have like a homemade chicken broth, but just use a stock cube, bouillon powder, and just follow the kind of instructions on it. Just add some hot water to it or whatever, and dissolve it and add that in. That'll be absolutely fine. And all we're going to do now is just kind of let this simmer gently, cook the chicken out, and we're going to let the sauces reduce, the spices to cook out, and then we'll finish it later with all our onions and peppers and broccoli and green beans and stuff. Oh, and something I forgot to bring up was make sure you add your turmeric. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons, which I'll just do by eye because I'm a chef, I'm used to this. But I would recommend you kind of measure it out if you're not. So yeah, about 2 teaspoons of turmeric. You don't need to fry the turmeric off or anything like that. It'll cook out gently just in the broth. If you fry it out, you tend to just like kind of get yellow turmeric stains in the bottom of your pan, which kind of annoys me. So that's why I just kind of add it in to the broth and just let it kind of gently cook out when it's simmering away. It's not one of these kind of harsh spices like coriander or cumin that you kind of need to fry. Just like the gentle heat of the simmering broth will be enough to cook it, so don't worry about it being gritty or anything like that. Okay, so the coconut broth has just kind of come to the boil. I'm just going to turn the heat down very slightly, just so it's kind of gently simmering away. I've also got my onions, my carrots, and my red peppers here, which I'm going to add in now. The pan will look really, really full, but as they cook down, kind of soften, it'll kind of move down into the pan and it won't look as crowded I also have some broccoli and some green beans, but I'm not going to add them until right at the end. So we'll do all the seasoning, we'll make sure the taste is great, we'll do any kind of adjustments that we need to make to this, and then we'll add the green veg so it doesn't overcook, so it has like a nice little bite to it as well. But if you're not into that, you can add that a little bit earlier. I just won't add it right now because these carrots and onions and stuff are probably going to take like 20-ish minutes simmering to cook, so I wouldn't recommend adding them yet because it will taste, they'll be kind of stewed. So yeah, we're just going to let these gently cook, and then we'll come back and we'll start seasoning our broth and getting the flavours together. Now, just to have a quick chat about this. This is palm sugar, which is like a more Thai, Vietnamese kind of ingredient. You can get this in Chinese supermarkets pretty easily. You can get like a decent sized bag of it for like £1, £1.50 or something like that. I would not recommend buying this from supermarkets because it's very, very expensive. A piece like this generally comes in like a granulated form, where it's kind of like chopped down into like small little chunks, but it'll run you like £3 or £4. So it's really, really expensive to buy in a supermarket, but it's dirt cheap in an Asian supermarket, like a Chinese supermarket. And all I've done is just cut it into quarters, and then I've just chopped about half of one of these up, and I'm going to add that to the curry along with some fish sauce. So we're going to add in our palm sugar, and this is fish sauce. So this is Squid brand, which is considered one of the best ones you can buy. Again, I wouldn't recommend buying this in a supermarket because a small little like kind of 200ml bottle is going to run you about £9, which is really expensive. This is a 725ml bottle, and it was about £2.50, and it lasts ages. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons-ish. Again, it's one of those things of like kind of season it to your sensibilities. So if you're not used to using fish sauce and you're not kind of used to the flavour of it, you know, maybe just add like half a teaspoon or like a teaspoon of it, and then just kind of taste it. And if you think like you like it, and then just add some more, and just kind of like adjust seasonings to kind of your palate. So if you taste it and you're like, oh, that's enough, then don't add any more. But if you like it or you think, oh, it needs some more, then add some more. And you know, there's other, and obviously if you're making this vegetarian, then I would recommend maybe use like a teaspoon of soy sauce and just some salt, which is fine. We're still going to add some salt to this because as fish sauce is kind of salty and uses a seasoning, it doesn't work the same way as salt does. It's kind of hard to explain, but essentially you'll need kind of a bit of both. I've just turned the heat up as well a little bit because I want to reduce this down just a touch, just so it's a little bit thicker and it's kind of a better mouthfeel. So I'll come back when this is kind of reduced down to a decent consistency and our vegetables are a bit softer. But it's been on about 15 minutes now, so the kind of carrots and stuff are starting to get sort of a little bit softer. No one wants to kind of eat a curry and have carrots that are like really, really woody and harsh on your teeth. You know, you want everything to be kind of nice and soft. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes-ish, and the curry has been cooking down. I just need to reach for a spatula because I left it behind me. It's been cooking down, so it's nice and it's like a lot thicker now. The stock's juiced down, the veg is cooked down, the carrots are like getting pretty soft now. So we're gonna add, I'm gonna add my broccoli and green beans. So if you've got any other kind of green veg here, like Bak Choi, Mange Tou, anything like that, now is the kind of time you want to be adding them, and it's gonna take about 3 to 5 minutes to kind of get this veg nice and soft. Obviously we've already seasoned it, so it's pretty much ready to go at this point, and I'm happy with the flavour of it. I'm just waiting for these green vegetables to cook down, and then we'll give it a try and serve it. I'm going to eat this with rice. I'm not going to make a video on how to cook rice because there's like 6,000 of them out there, but I'm just going to have this with some jasmine rice. But again, choose your own journey. If you want to eat it with like quinoa or something like that, and so you don't have to kind of have the carbohydrates and sugar of rice, that's fine as well. Literally just kind of choose your own journey with it. And like a popular thing to have with a curry of this style in like Vietnam is bread, like a French baguette kind of thing, or banh mi bread. So you can really kind of eat it whatever you want. But yeah. So as you can see, I've just boiled up my chicken, and I've just done some sliced spring onions on top for a garnish because it looks nice. You can also see my laptop because I'm trying to edit this video while I'm also making it. But this is a really, really easy, really versatile, really light, mild kind of chicken curry. It's good, it's nice and healthy. Obviously, it's as healthy as you want it to be. If you want to add more carbohydrates to it or whatever, then that's fine. So you can really just kind of tailor it around what you want. You can use, you don't even need to use chicken. You can use kind of whatever you want as your protein in it, or have no protein in it and just make it a veg curry. And that was kind of the point of doing this recipe, is because it's just really easy and it's really versatile and really simple to make, and shouldn't take you any kind of longer than an hour. And most of that hour is just kind of letting it cook down and letting it do its thing and letting the flavors kind of build. So it's really, really easy, really, really simple to make. And I'm going to do the whole YouTube plug thing now and be like, you know, like and all that shit. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did make this curry and you had any feedback on the recipe or anything like that, I would really, really appreciate that in the comment section. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy it.